Welcome to another beautiful day on earth and another dose of Did You Know? And today with me is Mr. Travis. He is the entrepreneur. We're like, what doesn't he do is more the question. What aren't your tentacles in? But Travis, how are you today?
I'm doing well, Danny. Thank you for having me on and giving us this platform to talk about veterans and the things that we do. It's very important, I think, for people to understand that and know that.
Yeah. And I love your whole kind of premise of how you even started and why you do what you do.
Yeah.
I think that's the coolness behind people, right? We can always see, oh, okay, they own this company, they own that company, but why?
Right.
That is the hidden secret. And I think what makes people successful or not successful, in my opinion.
I agree.
You know, but tell the world a little bit about you. Who is Travis?
Well, I like to say sometimes great things come from tragedy and inspiration. And I was a United States Marine Corps veteran. I had the honor to serve as a Marine Honor Guard for President George H.W. Bush, the 41st President of the United States. And like many of us, we lost people that we served with. I had two of my best friends that were killed later on. My friend Richard Gasson was killed as a state trooper. My other friend Thomas Rabjohn was killed in Afghanistan in the war on terror. So you go through those emotions where you're angry, you're pissed off, you're confused, but eventually I was inspired to do something more than just remember them. I wanted to create a company and products that honor that service and that sacrifice, because I'm not the hero. I was inspired by two heroes. I met plenty of them, but like Sal Gonzalez, the new song he has is a veteran freedom on his cause. Heroes are the ones that don't make it home. And that's very, very true. So we want to honor that spirit and that service.
So how did you start Heroes Vodka? Well, first, is that the first company that you had, or was there one before that?
Well, that was the first one I had. The other ones came about basically because of the COVID pandemic. I had to learn to pivot and shift to do something a little different because a lot of things are closed right now. But also out of that came a great concept, which is the Heroes Cup Company, where we create custom cup companies, provide an economically way for nonprofits to have a fundraiser. So we create a really nice cup design with their vision and create those at a low cost. It's a lot cheaper than challenge coins and different things. We're kind of like the Girl Scout cookies and cups. And you know our friend Andrew Farr. So I said I basically put Andrew on a cup because he's the hardest working veteran I know to connect veteran service organizations out there and help people.
I couldn't agree with you more about Andrew. He is like, man, if you don't know him, you will. That's what I always say.
Yeah, then my other company is not launched yet. The COVID really put a halt on that with everything. It's called USMCC Wellness, and we're into the supplement business and the CBD business because throughout the alcohol industry, I've seen where a lot of times veterans mix prescription drugs with alcohol, and that's a prescription. I mean, that's a recipe for disaster. So I started studying that, symptoms of post-traumatic stress with a lot of my friends I deal with, and looked at the medicine that's been around for thousands of years to help our men and women that served. And it's unfortunate some other countries like Israel, it's legal for them to have that, but here we can't have that. And we're losing 22 veterans a day to suicide. And that's a national travesty that we need to work on. And hopefully that'll be coming out here in the next few months and I can come back and talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, I'm curious about that, but let's go back to the beginning of Heroes Vodka.
Okay.
Were you just sitting around one day having a drink and you're like, this would be cool?
Yeah, I was sitting at a VFW here in Nashville, Tennessee. Been going there since I was a young Marine. My mom was the president of the Ladies Auxiliary there for a while. And I was thinking about my two friends I lost around Memorial Day. And I kept seeing these different commercials of different products that were honoring veterans, but I didn't think they were doing it in the right way. So I'm like, why don't we create a product that's truly veteran-owned that gives back with every purchase, you know, something that's great. And I started looking at different products and I came across the story of Sidney Frank, the founder of Grey Goose. And Sidney always said the American people are so pretentious, they'll pay $15 more for a bottle of vodka made in France. And he was right. He sold his company for about $2 billion or more. And so I think the American people are patriotic enough that they'll support a veteran-owned brand that gives back with every purchase. But Sidney had a leg up on me. He was already a multimillionaire. I had enough money to put a full-page ad in the New York Times, received a gold medal. And they started putting out there, and his vodka at that time, Absolute was the biggest thing out there, but his was a lot cheaper. But he also had the distribution rights for Jägermeister. So when he bought a case of Jägermeister, he'd give the bartenders a bottle of Grey Goose. He also invented the Jägerette girls, the shot girls. So he did that around college campuses and created a very powerful brand with that. So I've kind of copied that a little bit because a lot of people think there's nothing new out there, but there is. You just have to put your story on it, your spin on it. And if you think you can do it better, give it a shot. So I was very naive in the beginning, and luckily I was, because what I know now, I probably would have waited a little while to start that. But with the training I had in the Marines, it prepared me to surround myself with elite people and elite teams like that. So I never want to be the smartest person in the room. I'm more of a concept guy. I need the logistics guy, the supplies guys, the guys that can get this done. So I created a network with that. And through that network, I met many people that shared my vision and my mission. And I was always told the reason I want to work with you, Travis, is your passion. You're genuine. You're doing this for the right reasons. It's not all about money. And of course, I want to make money for my family, but my family are veterans. So it's kind of a win-win with everybody.
Yeah, I love that concept. Very a humbling concept of that. You don't have to be the smartest, but you definitely need to surround yourself with other people that fill in those holes. I think that might be one of the biggest mishaps that people have, is that they take what they don't know and they try to cover it up with more of what they don't know. Right. And then it's this ripple effect of stupid, basically.
Yeah. Never be afraid to say you don't know anything. That's the one thing in the Marine Corps. The only question not asked is the question that you didn't ask, or something similar to that.
Yeah.
You want to keep it simple, stupid. We've always been told that too. So you just want to have a brand that's easy to understand. Heroes Vodka, the official spirit of a grateful nation. We're veteran owned. We donate 10% of our profits back to American veterans and their families. So far, we've won 6 gold medals, 5 silver. So if you like Tito's and Grey Goose and all them, you can purchase my vodka and save a lot of money, because I know how much vodka costs to be made. And we're made at one of the most winning distilleries in the world, and one of the oldest distilleries in the world. So that's great too.
How did you have to do you have to test a lot? Like sample?
Yeah,
what is that like?
What it is, it costs about $1 million or more to start your own distillery. So that was an avenue that was going to be very hard for me to accomplish. So I went out and bought what we call airplane bottles. A lot of people do, or mini bottles of about every vodka you could think of. And my friend Jason McKinnon was the first one we started testing it on, but then Stephen Cochran, Stephen. So yeah. We would get about 4 or 5 of these every Friday and drink them. One shot. This is one drink, so it's not too much. And the ones we liked, we'd set to the side. And so the ones we liked, we picked one day that we kind of overindulged in them to see what it did to you. So my goal was to find the healthiest way to drink if you're going to drink. And through that process, I found out that corn, American grains, was the healthiest way to drink because it's naturally glycerin-free. Notice I said glycerin, not gluten. I had started this in 2009. It took me 2 years to get it to market. And then gluten-free became a big buzzword. But people understand if it's made from corn, it's naturally gluten-free anyway. But glycerin is what dehydrates your body on the molecular level and gives you the hangover worse than anything. But like I like to say too, it will give you a hangover if you drink way too much of it, like anything did. So like if you drink a drink, it's always best to drink 8 to 10 ounces of water after every drink, and then you won't feel that bad the next day at all.
Look at that little health tip of drinking for the day.
And this is our medals we won so far, so we're very proud of those. And some of the biggest spirit competitions in the world, going up against some of the largest brands in the world that have a war chest, like you want billions and billions of dollars.
So what? I didn't even know. Like, how do you? Is it like how do you get an award? Reminds me of like a fair.
They have like the San Francisco World Spirits Competition. They sent out emails sometime asking you to participate. You'll submit a couple of bottles, and they have some of the very good judges, bartenders, and people that really have a nose and a palate to do that. Me, I really don't have a palate, for wine. I just know if I like it, it's good. And that's a lot of people get bougie with that, and they're afraid to ask questions and try different things. Don't be like that, just try it if you like it. There's a $100 bottle of wine that's great. There's a $100 bottle of wine that's horrible. Same thing with a $10 bottle of wine.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't have to pay over $10 to $12 for a fifth of vodka. You really shouldn't have to do that. There's some great brands out there that fit that category.
All right, guys, this is the tips of drinking if you're a vodka drinker here. And ask, because this was a question I have. I was like, can I get it? And then you told me to ask the stores, right? That's the best way to get, if you like something, ask for it.
And you got to be persistent, because a lot of times they'll blow you off with that. So go to our website. You'll see a lot of our information on there. Go to your store. Send us an email or a private message, and I'll do my best to get a store to locate it where you can find that. Now, there are some brands that sell online, but that's a very, very dangerous area to get into with the laws. There's so many different liquor laws, and I'm not allowed to sell that personally myself. That would be called bootlegging. There's a 3-tier system. So I sell it to the distributor, then the distributor sells it to retail and bars and restaurants. But sometimes you'll go to a website, like you'll see a different liquor company that says they sell it online. They do that on a very, very thin line of how they do that. So hopefully the laws will change more and more, because that's where the people are going to, is to buy online. But you also have to be responsible and make sure it doesn't get in the hands of people that shouldn't have it. And that's one thing I always like to say. If you have a problem with alcohol, I don't want you to buy my product, period. If you're underage, I don't want you to buy my product, period. This product is about responsibility and honoring our warriors and those that go above and beyond the call of duty.
Yeah. Yeah. You're good, ethical man. That's what it's about.
Alcohol started as a medicine. It really was during Prohibition. That's the way people got around it. They'd have their doctor write them a prescription. When Winston Churchill came, which he has a quote I try to live by. He says, "We make a living by what we get, but we make a life by what we give." But Winston is always known about drinking a lot. So when he came to the States that time, Prohibition, he couldn't have a drink. So I think he was in a little accident with a taxi cab, and he went to his doctor and got a prescription to have the alcohol he needed here while he was in the United States. So he got a prescription for that. But alcohol is very hard and disciplined to do it the right way. So that's why, it's not really a medicine, because some people just can't do it properly. So that's why you have different types of medicine now.
You always have like the most fascinating stories. I learned so much. Like when we talked before, I walked away like, man, this guy knows a lot about a lot of different things, history and stories like that. Are you a huge reader?
Yeah, well, the thing that General Mattis talked about, because, we have everybody, not everybody, but a large number of our veterans are suffering post-traumatic stress. So he started talking about post-traumatic growth, and he started talking about reading stories and being inspired by things that's happened in the past, because we've been in war for a long time. Learn from the men and women that have been successful that's went through that transition, because Conrad Hilton, the founder of Hilton, was a veteran. Bill Marriott was a veteran. Sam Walton was a veteran. I mean, I could go on and on with a lot of these veterans that's done amazing things. And so that's where I got my inspiration from, because at first you're kind of scared to make that leap because you feel inadequate or you're not good enough. Or I was a grunt in the Marine Corps, I can't do this. But I started reading these stories of guys that had similar backgrounds with me. Heck, if they can do it, I can do it. And that should be what we always say.
And it's a blueprint. We talked about it's really rare to have a new idea. Usually the ideas are based off of ideas that are already out there. You're just putting your own spin and your heart and soul in it, which is going to make it unique and successful.
Right.
So it's a great way to do it. Read about guys that are kind of exactly like you and follow the blueprint. Why make up a new blueprint?
Yeah, research. I spent 2 years in research and development. I just didn't do this one day and jump out there. I was working at Bridgestone Firestone at the time, working 12.5-hour shifts, been there for 12.5 years, had a good job, great benefits. And I had a lot of haters there too. So you can't do this. This is stupid. People hear me talk about this, but I did it. But I didn't do it alone. That's for sure. I had plenty of people that inspired me, that still inspire me, encourage me. And I couldn't do this without my supporters and fans. And that's one thing we want to get out there to the community too. We have our own brands now that are veteran owned, that are really good quality brands that are economically priced that we can afford. And that builds up our community. That builds up our economy. And that's an amazing thing that we can do. If you want, plus with mine, we give back at the same time. So you don't have to write a check to a charity, but if you like vodka, why not buy Heroes Vodka? You can give back at the same time.
Yeah, I love it. And we have a Travis from Boston. Travis, the other Travis.
Which one?
Travis Oscar Mike podcast.
Yeah, I do. I think we've talked together before and everything.
He's out there.
Sometimes, especially when they say Travis, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, no, not talking about you. Another Travis out there. But all right, I'm very excited to do my collection of cups. I've got Andrew saving them all for me in September. Every new cup I see, I'm like, save me one. I'll bring it home in September. But can you show everyone? Because I think they're cool. Like I'm a collector. I have my favorite coffee mug. I have my favorite cups, but I like them to have meaning. I don't like them to just be, blah, blah. So how do you come up with
forever too? You have the souvenir plastic cups. You see them all the time.
Yeah.
But there's really no veteran. There's veteran T-shirt companies. There's veteran carving companies, but I've never seen a veteran cup company that actually does it this way. So, but these products are all made in the United States of America. They're BPA free, recyclable. You put them in the recyclable in the dishwasher safe on the top rack. But this is the one we did for IW Nashville Hike, Silky's Hike. They're $5 a piece. So it all goes back to supporting the hike and their mission of bringing veterans together to stop veteran suicide. And that's kind of our logo right there. I got the inspiration from, raising our glass to our warriors for centuries. So why not do it in a Heroes Custom Cup? And this is our Chattanooga Cup. So
cool.
Right on there. We always put that on the back. But we can design these cups any way you want to. Any picture you have, anything, we can do that. This is just the ones we're doing for IW. And Knoxville, as we know, it's the big University of Tennessee town, so we changed it a little bit, put the big orange. And I'm a Notre Dame fan and a Alabama fan. So, but I still love Tennessee. It's my home. But a lot of people like that. We have the Memphis Cup coming here very soon. So we're doing a pilot program for IW as a way to show them or give them a way to do a fundraiser that's very economical, because I think the return on these cups is about $1,900 after their initial cost to buy 500 cups. So it's a very, very good program. It's low cost. And we can do this for reunions. We can do this for any charity, bars, restaurants. Like a bar and a restaurant wants to have a cup to give back to charity, they can pick their own charity and do that. And I found this out through COVID and being in the liquor thing. I cannot give free cups to bars. It's against the law. But if charities go out and buy them and stuff, they can do that. But a lot of bars and restaurants want to support. You think of Mission Barbecue. I think they've raised over $10 million already with their cup program for the USO and different programs like that. And
wow.
We've been in talks with the VFW to be their cup vendor to do that, because that's a great thing with the veteran service organizations, to hire a veteran-owned company to do this for them. And that's what we're trying to do, because it brings, if we can partner them with like IW, they work together on a cup, that brings more resources to the VFW. It brings more membership for both programs, where we're all working together. Because I think Stephen talked about it, where so many organizations are trying to compete and everything. Well, we all basically have the same mission. It's to help veterans in our communities. So we can do that by working together.
Yeah, it is. Andrew's on there. He says, hey, you missed all your shout outs, Andrew. We're not going to say it again to you. You're going to have to go back and listen.
I'm surprised he's not on the road.
But how did that come up? I know it was COVID and this happened fast. Not as much time to develop as an alcohol brand or a vodka brand.
Well, you get a person like Andrew, and I see what he does, and that's what inspired me. So if I could put Andrew on a cup, well, this is what we did. So then Andrew knew he's the regional coordinator for IW, and they're always looking for creative ways to raise money. And I know a lot of bar people, a lot of restaurant people, and different things. So I said, well, we do a custom cup with this. So I started doing the pricing before for the vodka, and it didn't work out because of the laws. So I said, well, I just started another company called the Heroes Custom Cup Company, and Andrew has an MBA, a great person. So I can't do this alone. I got a lot going on. So I looked at him, and then he brought a designer to me, which Christopher, I can't remember Chris's last name, that may be Herod, but Chris is also a Marine veteran. But he's a designer also. So it helps bringing those people together to give them a purpose too as well.
Yeah. You see the ripple effect? Like when you just sit back and listen, it's the ripple effect of the collaboration of really putting resources back into the veteran community, not just resources, but purpose. Like you have to act and be very strategic. If you want to have a veteran company, then have veterans that are part of it. Don't hire kind of outside. Outside will come. Right. But you got to support the home first. Yeah.
Like I say, veterans have a unique skill set. They understand my mission and what I'm doing. You don't have to always hire a veteran, and veterans are always the best people. We're still shithead veterans out there too, but
true.
But I like to get to know the people I work with. I've known Andrew for over a year now, and he's just an amazing person. So, he doesn't care who gets the credit. I'm the same way, as long as we can accomplish our mission. And like I say, people often ask me why I do what I do, what inspired me. Like most Americans, I understand the freedoms we enjoy and celebrate, because the best among us, the best we have ever had to offer, fought, bled, and died for it. And that's the truth. We should never forget that. We should always respect that and honor that. So I think it was Aristotle said, quality is not an act, it is a habit. I created Heroes Vodka brand and these other brands, not to be just another vodka, not another cup company, not another wellness company, but to honor the best by serving the best that we can. We've raised our glasses, like I said, to our warriors for centuries. Why not do this with a Heroes Vodka? A Heroes Custom Cup, a Heroes Vodka, or if you're taking a gummy like apple cider vinegar or a sleep aid, shouldn't it be USMCC Wellness? Something like that. So that's basically what I'm doing. It's just having concepts that's been out there and products that's been out there, but make them a little bit better, branding them a little bit better, and getting the message out there to our communities that it can really serve and raise them up.
It is. It's true collaboration and true entrepreneurship and what America's about.
Yeah. So
right
I met Stephen back in 2011 when I first started getting started and got to know him, and he introduced me to a lot of people he knew. I've introduced him to a lot of people I know, and through that ripple effect, we've met hundreds, if not thousands, of other people out there. And I'm also part of the National Veteran-Owned Business Association, NAVOBA, and there's a few other out there like that, but they're great organizations to belong to because you get inspired from other veterans doing something similar that you're doing.
Yeah.
And by being a veteran-owned business, you qualify for supply diversity. And a lot of people forget this. A lot of companies have supply diversity programs. They're looking for our products and our services. So you got to go out there and research and get that. And that gives you a network. That gives you resources. Because I think Andrew posted something the other day, and a guy from the Veterans Chamber of Commerce called us wanting to do some cups and things like that. So it's just that ripple effect like you talked about.
Yeah. And I'm a true, I want to work with people that I know. I want to buy from people that I support. If I can't align with you, then you're kind of like dead to me. I just won't. I'm kind of like that person. If I find out a company is sketchy, I will no longer eat there, buy there, do anything. I want every part of my being to be in support, to the best of my knowledge, of people that kind of align with good living.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I buy products all the time from different countries and everything, but I research where they're made. Like, I won't put a gummy or a wellness product made from China in my body. I might buy a cell phone from China because I don't know of any veteran-owned or American-made cell phones out there yet. So we're trying to find these the Yeti cups type to start doing those, but there's really none made in America. I'm still researching that. We found a tumbler company down in Florida. I think they can do the plastic versions. That's really, really good, and also a coffee cup company that's all made in America. And some beer steins, hopefully, that we'll start doing here very soon. So we're very excited about that. But I had some canteen cups made once, and the guy told me they're made in America, and I started researching. He lied to me. They were made in China. He was just reselling them, and that wasn't the right thing to do. I don't mind, pay a little bit more for it's made in America, but I don't want to be lied to and ripped off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Whoever that was a bad move.
Yeah, and I always try to do it where every person can win from that. So if we make the cups for IW, we give them a good fundraiser, but they also make a lot of money back from that. But also in a cup, it's not like a cookie or a challenge. Challenge coins, mostly people throw them in a drawer. They put them on the wall. But the cup, they're traveling around with it. It's advertising. You can put advertisement on that. You have that more. And it's
a brilliant idea. It's a win-win all over the place. And we have on Instagram, I just got to give a shout out to Cali Girl Book. She's watching and very inspired by you, and Lifebox Media Channel too. So
awesome. And Heroes Vodka is also, we're in about 600 Walmart stores. And what's great about that, I drove to Bentonville from met David Selitar, lives in New York. I met him. He contacted me on LinkedIn. He's not a veteran, but he has an energy drink called True Eagle, where he gives 10% of his profits by the Folded Flag Foundation. So there's a lot of companies out there. It's not veteran owned, but they want to give back. They want to help veterans. So he told me about the Buy American program that Walmart had. So I got in my car and drove 2.5, 3 hours to Bentonville, went into the buyers meeting David set up, and the two ladies, both of them were military spouses. So
really?
It was great. And I told them the stories like I've been telling you about Sam Walton. They knew that, but they love that it's all made in America and what we're doing. So we got a pilot program last year. They just re-upped us this year. Michigan is one of our better states with Walmart right now. They've ordered 1,500 cases in the last couple of months alone. So, but I don't do a lot of the day-to-day hero stuff. I do, because of COVID now, I can't go out and go with the reps. So Vintage Point is another company that we've hired to manage a lot of that, and the RS Lipman company that manages a lot of the stuff behind the scenes, the logistics stuff of that for me. But it's great to have that sort of support that you need, because like I think it was Steven and your guest the other night, the Vietnam veteran, everybody thinks the grunts that's what you want to be. But without the supply people, without the people that make the vodka, that ship the vodka, the boxes, the glass, the caps, the labels, it's a lot of things. Because it took me 2 years to get everything made in America. Because for a while, my glass was made from Bruni, which is an Italian company, which is great. They've been a great ally for a long time. But I always wanted to do that in America. So it took me a couple of years to get to that. But now we are. Everything's made in America.
That's cool. I love like how you started, but that wasn't where you finished. You had a vision and you just keep plugging away. Just put the initiative, and then eventually it all kind of lays out exactly the way it should be. So before I ask you my last question, talk to me about you. There's an event. You support a nonprofit, the event, because it sounded very cool. It's
over here. It's the Manhattan's Martinis and Mistletoe. It's part of the American Freedom Fund. I sit on their advisory board. So we have a big event. It's on December 16th, 2020. It's going to be at the Hall of Flags, the Chamber of Commerce of the United States of America. Usually there's about 35 to 36 members of Congress that attend the event. We give out the Patriot Awards, which our mission, which I have here, which I should know that by heart. It's the mission of the American Freedom Fund is to empower veterans through our athletics, educational, and advocacy programs. And so far, we're active in 18 states with our softball, shooting teams, and outdoor events and golf events. 159 veteran athletes and participants, 135 softball games played, 6 programs, 25 networking and support functions. We have these Red Friday socials, 12 outdoor excursions, 14 shooting competitions, 1,569 positive engagements. So if you can, go to theamericanfreedomfund.org. Look at what we do. There's a lot more that we do also with the advocacy and the education part of it. It's a great charity to give back to. We do a lot of work, and we'd love to see you at that event. You can buy your tickets through there or contact me personally. We still have sponsorship available too for that. You can buy a table, but it's a great event. And they have a live orchestra there. It's just a lot of fun. One of the best holiday parties, Christmas parties in DC.
And that's drivable, at least for me.
Yeah,
I can drive to DC if, I can't get a plane.
And we're hoping to do very soon a happy hour virtual cocktail event with the Heroes Custom Cup. So we're trying to create a virtual traveling cup. So when you have all these Zoom meetings, everyone can have the same cup. It's kind of connects people that way. And hopefully once a month, we'll partner that with the charity, and we'll get the people from that charity on board, have an event like this, talk on live on Facebook and talk about those charities. We can order these cups as a fundraiser for the American Freedom Fund we're working on right now. So that should be a lot of fun.
You're a man with many hats. You are the true symbol of American entrepreneur. I love it.
Without the American veteran, there wouldn't be the American dream. So I have a lot of people to thank for where I am today. And I still have a long way to go. And I still plan on helping as many people as I can, because that's what life is about, about giving and helping people.
Yep. That's what moves us forward, moves us into our purpose. If we just sit right here within ourselves, it's a very empty, lonely, unfulfilling life.
Yeah. You got to leave the cave. Like we talked about, you got to leave the cave. You got to go out and hunt. People forget that. But also all the media out there is just so negative nowadays. There's so much positive things out there, so much hope. Yeah. And when I did travel, I seen that all the time, but I still see that now through virtual things that my friends have talked about. There's a lot of hope, and we're going to come back from all of this.
I agree with you. What you look for, you will find. So if you look for the negative, you're going to continue to see the negative. But if you just choose, like, that just is not it's not penetrating my world, you'll be amazed at what you start to see and hear.
Exactly. And in closing, if you want to follow us, we're on Instagram, Heroes Vodka, the Heroes Custom Cup Company. My personal page is on it, the same thing with all the other social media channels. We'd appreciate that, just to tell our story to others, spread the word. That's what helps us in business, is just talking about it.
Yep. Just share. So before I let you go and you continue on with your million things that I am sure you have to do today, in this moment right now, Travis, what does love mean to you?
What is love? That's a hard question. Love is a very hard thing. That's a very hard thing to get. But love to me is a love of life, a love of what you're doing. Find a passion for what you're doing. Passion is not everything. You still got to work hard, but that's love to me, is giving to others, loving something more than yourself. Honor, courage, and commitment. That's what the Marine Corps was based on. I'm committing myself to something greater than myself, and nothing's better than that. And that's what love is. Really. Yeah. I love my two friends very, very much. And I like to raise the glass to them and all the people that's given their life for this country. So cheers to that.
Cheers. Cheers, cheers. What perfectly, you are living exactly what love means to you.
Yeah, thank you.
You are. So thank you so much for joining,
Thank
sharing
you.
your heart, putting the work in to be able to do everything that you do, because it does take a lot of work. But you're walking the walk. So thank you. And everybody else that is out there, remember, as always, love hard, love true, and love proactive. Until next time, we will see you. Take care.
Thanks, Danny.